Alright. I'm online, so
Okay.
you got the thing.
Yep.
And you're in the party chat now?
Yep.
Sweet. Well then, welcome everybody to the PlagueCast, and welcome Eric as well to the PlagueCast.
Yeah, not like that stupid fake joining last week.
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't really go into that last week, but okay, well we sort of did. But
Yeah.
the initial PlagueCast that you guys saw last week was actually not the initial PlagueCast. There was one that happened, started about a half an hour previous, until me and Eric both realized that he had not opted his chat into the Twitch feed. So I was just talking to myself about WrestleMania 1 for a half an hour.
I think we should have just left it up. It would have sounded amazing. Like, wow, he has really lost it.
I don't know, man. I'm not really about, the psychosis and everything, so.
He's awesome.
God, Eric. Not everything is wrestling. Anyway, so this is about the Wrestling Classic 1985.
See, this is about wrestling.
Alright, let's see. Are your classes all set up?
I believe so.
Okay. Ooh, you know what I should do? I should put bots in here.
Yeah. Us vaguely wandering around an empty map would not make for good watching.
Yeah, especially not for 10 minutes. Alright, so don't forget to switch teams when the thing starts.
Okay.
And let's see, is there anything that you wanted to say about the Wrestling Classic in general before we actually start getting into the matches themselves?
Wrestling used to fucking suck.
It really did. It was not good. Is there anything else, or should we start this thing? Let's get this train
I don't know,
rolling,
I think we just
right?
finished it. Nah.
Yeah.
I think that was our final wrap-up as well. I mean, in all seriousness, though, it's just like, I mean, I understand it had the whole spectacle element to it, but it's just like, even watching like the way like the crowds react to things, it amazes me that like this flew,
Get out there and get the win.
that people were like, yes, I want to watch this and spend money on seeing this.
Well, I mean, okay, so, after WrestleMania, it really is kind of surprising that people would say, oh man, I can't wait to drop a paycheck on the next wrestling show, because that one's going to be even better. Like, yeah, it's going to be better, but I mean,
UAV ready for tasking.
what's
But
a
being
little
stabbed
better
is
than
better than
getting
being
stabbed?
shot.
Yeah. Wow. Why did we have the same comparison?
Both violent for no reason.
Yeah.
It's completely uncalled for.
Now, so maybe you could refresh my memory on something. Most of this entire show was a tournament. What the hell was the purpose of the tournament?
To be the winner of the Wrestling Classic, there's
Fantastic.
not really any more of a prize to it than that.
It's not even a shot at the world title or anything. It was just, hey, you won. Like, the fuck? What are you kidding me? So,
I guess bragging rights used to be worth a lot more to people back then.
yeah. But then again, when we reach the end of the show and we reveal the winner of the show or the tournament and how he won, it will become a lot more obvious that this entire tournament meant nothing to them either. So,
Yeah, this was a throwaway.
so the very first match, the opening match of the tournament, was Adrian Adonis and Corporal Kirshner.
Yep.
Yep. So,
Corporal Kirshner, most famous for trying to murder someone in Japan.
oh man. Well, we'll get into that.
Maybe not most famous, but
That's what he is most well known for.
to me.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that should be considered. Wow, 1 kill with my Hellstorm? Okay.
Roger that.
I really wish that Adrian Adonis wore, like, you know, he came out to the ring wearing a jacket. Kind of wish that he kept wearing that jacket while he was wrestling, because as soon as he took off the jacket, it became obvious that he has the same physique as Dusty Rhodes. But I don't want that to sound like something mean against Dusty Rhodes, because Dusty Rhodes had enough sense to wear a singlet. Wasn't the most
Not
flattering thing, but he did something to cover up that mess. Fucking Adrian.
I mean, sometimes he wore the singlet, but...
What's that?
Said sometimes he wore a singlet, but a lot of times
yeah.
he wore the little trunks.
Yeah, you're right. So okay, so yeah, he looked like Dusty Rhodes, and you can take that however you want. That can be mean. So was there anything that stood out about the match to you? Because like the one thing that stood out to me is that nothing that Corporal Kirshner did looked convincing. Everything looked like he...
How was that?
Everything that he did looked like he was still in wrestling school. Like he's in wrestling summer school and he's just fucking piping away at that, you know, those final few credits for the degree. Oh god, no.
No.
I really was having a lot of trouble with it. Like his headlocks, he'd put a headlock on him, but he didn't even look like he was like really putting force into it. He just looked like he grabbed the dude by the neck and was just standing there. That's just an example.
He just want to be buddies.
Maybe. That's just an example of how like unconvincing everything he did really was.
I mean, I've heard a lot about how he was supposed to be fantastic. I mean, I've heard a lot of hype about Adrian Adonis, but this was definitely not the showcase for it.
If he was supposed to be fantastic, then something went horribly wrong, because he wasn't. Corporal Kirshner. Let's see. Oh shit! I punched the guy. No, he's reviving himself. Shit, where'd he go? There he is. Yeah, Adrian Adonis won that match. I don't know if you remember, with a weird looking like spinning DDT type of thing where he like landed on his side.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was kind of cool looking. The announcers had no idea what to call it because they don't know what a DDT is. Jake the Snake Roberts
yeah, this was
still
Jake, so they were just like...
Jake was still like 13 years old at the time, so...
No, he was wrestling probably... Probably Mid-South at that time, or UWF.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that match was not good. As soon as that match was over, it was a blessing. The next match was Dynamite Kid and Nikolai Volkov. Do you remember how that one ended?
Yeah, that one I remember, because it was basically like Dynamite Kid kind of showed up and was like, look, I don't want to watch Nikolai Volkov wrestle any more than you do.
Yeah.
And he drop kicked him during the Russian national anthem, and that was the win. Top rope
so that's basically it. So Nikolai Volkov is requesting everybody to sing the Russian national anthem, which I don't know, maybe it was the Soviet national anthem. Yeah, it was the Soviet at the time. And then unsurprisingly, he got booed for it, and then he went on to tell the fans what pieces of shit they are for disrespecting his country. While Dynamite Kid climbs up to the top rope, gives him a missile dropkick, and ends probably the shortest match on the entire show. Probably. I don't know. I didn't take times. There were some short matches on this show.
Yeah.
There
was definitely the shortest match, though. Because there was not really even a match.
True. There was nothing for us to say about that match. It was over before it started. Nikolai Volkov did not do a move. Yeah. Nikolai Volkov didn't do a single move, and it was over. So, what else is there to say? The next match was Ivan Putski versus Randy Savage. What's your take on that one?
Another super short one.
Well,
Putski is, you know, the fucking thickest looking human being you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even by this point, he was well past his prime.
Maybe that'll explain it, because Yeah, like basically, what I took away from that match is that, you know, keeping in mind that I have watched like all the pay-per-views up to around 2001 or so. I remember seeing Macho Man just like, you know, his matches were pretty good, but in this entire show, it just struck me like how quick he was moving and like how just vital he looked. Everything that he did looked clean, and he was like running very fast, and just he looked awesome that night. And I know that we have watched like, you know, him and Steamboat and him and Flair, and they were very good matches. But he was really looking awesome on this particular night in 1985.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was at this point he was obviously a lot younger. Still really new to the company. I think he had debuted sometime after WrestleMania 1.
I see. Yeah, I was just gonna ask if he was on WrestleMania 1. Any idea how old he was around this time? I don't know his age, so.
Maybe mid-20s, because he had wrestled for his father in
Oh, I see.
Kentucky, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, he was looking very good there, and you saw that he hadn't really developed the Macho Man persona. Was he? Ow, fuck.
Right.
Was he known as the
damn
Macho
it.
Man yet, or was he just Randy Savage?
Yeah, that was
Man,
definitely
right?
part of it. Yeah. That was pretty much always part of his thing.
Yeah, but he just hadn't really developed the character as well as
Yeah, like you said, like the voice, you know, he
the
had
voice, the mannerisms.
Yeah.
He was Randy Savage.
Told Elizabeth to be quiet.
Yeah. He was Randy Savage at that point, and he was the Macho Man at that point, but, you know, only in name. He really wasn't the Macho Man just yet. But he was, like I say, I was still really impressed. He moved like a fucking monster in that match, and that is the only nice thing I have to say about the match, because Ivan Putski, like, you said that he was at the tail end of his career, basically. At least I hope that's what you said. You said that his prime was past.
Boy, we did not set a long enough timeline for this, Tim.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
Well, I don't know, but I'm glad that we didn't, because I didn't... Like, look at this weapon that I have has no attachments on it. I prestiged yesterday in the fucking regular multiplayer, so they reset all my custom classes, too, for this mode.
I see.
So I really just want to sit
No.
down for a minute and retool some classes that I could actually have fun. Yeah, Ivan Putski to me just looked like another clueless powerhouse. You know, you get those every once in a while.
Clueless, he's just that old school Bruno Sammartino era type.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's the way it felt to me. Like a Ryback. Just someone who's a really big, powerful dude and doesn't really know how to construct a match. It was, you know, he started wrestling in a different time, and at this point, wrestling had evolved somewhat into something a little bit more entertaining, because wrestling in the 60s and 70s was very slow and calculated and psychological, and it moved further and further away from that as time went on. But he seemed stuck maybe in that style of wrestling. I guess you can't really fault him for it. If that's the way, or that's the type of wrestling that he was brought up into, then that's that. But that was what I felt.
Yeah, it was just... Things were just different back then, that's all it really was, I mean...
Yeah. Special. I still don't know what the fuck.
I hesitate to call any of them... Yeah, I wouldn't call any of them bad, but it's never been something I'm a fan of.
Yeah. It's, like you said, I mean, basically different strokes and different styles of wrestling. Yeah, that's pretty much all you can say. Randy Savage won that match. I don't know if you caught that one. Fucking Randy Savage is sitting in the corner, and Putski is just sitting there kicking him in the chest over and over again, which is a very funny animation to us in our minds, for reasons that I will not share with our fan base. Hi, Joe. But so Macho Man is just sitting in the corner getting kicked in the chest over and over and over again. And then with one kick, he just catches his foot, pulls him to the ground, and rolls him up and puts both of his feet on the rope. Referee doesn't see it and counts to 3. And that's his victory.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, the hell with this.
Yeah. He's like, I tried working with Ivan Putski, but he sucks. Well, okay, not he sucks, but he's from a different time. So he understood there was not much that he could do with that. Let's see. The very next match was Ricky Steamboat versus Davey Boy Smith. We have to talk about it.
This was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. This was probably one of the best matches on the show, even though it's only about 3 minutes long.
Yeah. So basically, this match was ended prematurely. It was.
Oh, we're going right to that?
Oh yeah. It was this incredibly high quality match, and it was so good that it really did deserve to be made just like into its own feud. Like, this should have been a thing. But like we said, it ended way too soon. Steamboat is laying against the top rope, and Macho Man, or fucking Macho Man, I'm still talking about Macho Man. British Bulldog runs over and tries to drop kick him. Steamboat steps out of the way, and Davey Boy completely nuts himself on the top rope, falls to the mat in agony, and pretty much instantly the referee just called for the bell and said, yeah, this man can't go on. He's gonna lose his dick if this match continues. So referee called the match. Steamboat moves on. Really disappointing end for the match that probably had the most potential on the entire card. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Steamboat is Steamboat. We know my feelings on Steamboat, but we also know my feelings on Steamboat as the wrestler. And Davey Boy was much. I don't want to say better, because I don't want it to sound mean. But he slowed down later on in his career. Obviously, I mean he had different leg and back injuries that would have slowed him down. But back then he was a fucking great wrestler, an excellent technician.
Well, packing on about 70 pounds of roidy muscle didn't help mobility.
Yeah. Well, some people when they get injured, they use steroids to try and rebuild the muscle from injuries that might have lost a little bit of their muscle. You know what I mean? The muscles that lost their muscle. Iron Sheik versus Junkyard Dog.
All I remember about this one was that what's his name? That Junkyard Dog actually got out of the camel clutch, which
he did
a lot of times back then. There weren't submission escapes were much less common. Absolutely. It was like usually up, the hold's on.
And that because this is like a little fucking glimpse into our process here. Me and Eric watched this yesterday, and as soon as I saw the camel clutch lock on the Junkyard Dog, I said, "Well, this is over." Because I mean, like people didn't escape to the ropes. Like the whole thing with people crawling to the ropes when they're in a Boston Crab, for example, that didn't happen in the 80s. As soon as somebody got into a submission hold, they stayed in the middle of the ring and they're like, "Well, I'm fucked," and they just tapped out. Bunch of weaklings back in the 80s.
Unless they started maneuvering out of it, or
and so yes, I saw the camel clutch get locked on, and I was like, "Shit, that's it. He's gonna lose." And then he broke the camel clutch. Well, I wanted to go back. I don't know if you caught that fucking... I mean, the bell rang. The referee was a fucking idiot here because the bell rang and Iron Sheik starts the match by just taking off every individual piece of clothing that he owns and choking Junkyard Dog with it. He's like, let me take off this fucking jacket. I'm gonna choke him with it. Let me take off my fucking, what the hell do you call the head wrap?
The headdress, yeah.
Yeah, the headdress. And he took that off. He choked him with it. He was just choking him with everything he owned, and the referee is like, man, I wish I could do something about this. Because this seems like it shouldn't be right, you know? This is wrong. Oh god, I just got EMP'd. Junkyard Dog wins the match after a headbutt that Sheik got while he was telling the referee to go fuck himself, if you remember that.
Yep.
I believe he was choking him in the corner. Sheik was choking Junkyard Dog in the corner. Uh-oh. I think they took my care package. I believe he was choking Junkyard Dog in the corner. And the referee got in and they're like, come on, man, knock the fuck off. I just remembered what these stripes mean, and I don't like what you're doing, so. And yeah, fucking Sheik turns around and he's like, get away from me, you stupid fucking American. You know, this is paraphrasing, I guess this is what he said. And that's when Junkyard Dog steps out with a headbutt and wins the match that way. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but I mean, who really wants to see an Iron Sheik match anyway, so.
Yeah, oh, that's why I was absolutely mortified when I thought he was about to win. I don't have to sit through 2 fucking Sheik matches at least.
And I was definitely feeling your pain on that one, but he pulled it out. Not that Junkyard Dog is much better, but...
yeah, but at least Junkyard Dog seems like I kind of, you know, he's like a likable guy. It's like, even though his matches aren't good, it's like, it's hard to hate him.
It's true. It really is. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have Moondog Spot versus Terry Funk.
Oh god, just from like the little bit that happened, I wish this match would have been a real thing. Pretty much. Yeah, if do I get to explain this one?
You can. I just wanted to say that you know, I actually did come up with a couple of things that I thought Moondog Spot looked like, just in case anybody has never seen him. Moondog Spot looks like Kid Touching Santa. He looks like White Kimbo Slice. He looks like the host of Anatomy Park. Remember Anatomy Park? Yeah, he looked like that guy. Yeah, you can go over this match if you'd like. Oh, I got punched in the back of the head.
So, more or less, you know, Moondog Spot is, you know, like a savage, I guess, another guy that's kind of a dog, even though we already had one of those very recently.
Yep. Oh, but it's different though, because this one's white.
I guess. He's a show dog.
Race relations were definitely a lot more tense in the 80s, so... Or maybe not, but...
Yeah, we won't get into all that. That's a little too heavy for this right now. But, yeah, so pretty much Terry Funk comes down and, you know, kind of says to Spot, hey, man, fuck this whole thing. Let's just leave. You know, you and me, let's just go. And Spot goes out for it. He's like, yeah, that sounds right, I guess. So they both start walking to the back. Terry Funk fucking clubs him from behind and runs back to the ring trying to beat the count out. And then kind of scuffles with Spot right on the apron there, and Spot beats the count back in about 15 seconds.
Yep.
So now the little brawl that they had. Yeah, sorry about that. The little brawl that they had in the time really makes me wish that would have been a match, because it looked like it could have been fun. Like, because, you know, I dig me some Terry Funk. I mean, especially when you could still at least walk forward.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not,
like,
he's not
as a
so
brawler,
much
Terry Funk's awesome.
Terry Funk is definitely not so much for mobility anymore.
Well, he's like 70.
Yeah. Do you remember we were there for his final? Well, his final tag match with with Tommy Dreamer. He did also seem to imply that that was going to be his like farewell tour.
He said he would. He said he wasn't sure how much longer he'd be wrestling.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, he's still wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, you pretty much said it. So here's one thing that you neglected to mention though, is that the match didn't actually commence until both men left the ring. Funk walks up to Moondog's spot and he says, "Hey man, why don't we both leave right now? We'll both just take the count out and leave this tournament unharmed. How does that sound?" And Spot, being the ferocious dog that he is, says, "You know what? I'm in. Let's get out of here."
Okay, Raggy. Yeah.
So they both leave the ring after coming to this stupid consensus, and then the referee says, "Okay, let's start the match." And yeah, and then while they're both walking away, Funk just attacks Moondog from behind, loses the upper hand, and that's the end of that chapter. Let's see. Tito Santana versus Magnificent Don Morocco.
Man, what do I remember about this?
Do you remember the finish? That's really the only thing we need to talk about.
No, I don't. I don't remember anything about it.
Excellent. And I just want to remind everybody that we watched this show yesterday. Not that Eric has a bad memory, but definitely that this show was not a memorable show.
Also,
or not
15 fucking matches.
Yeah. Not that the show wasn't memorable,
but
but from this time period, like, we're really fucking spoiled on wrestling right now. These matches were all just so forgettable. The finish of this match was really, really murky, and I can't talk about the rest of the match because I honestly don't remember what the rest of the match looked like. So Morocco hits some kind of move, and he pins he pins Santana near the ropes.
Oh, I do remember now.
There you go. So he pins Morocco near the ropes, and the referee counts 1, 2.
Other way around. He pins Santana.
Even if you get a lucky shot,
Yeah, whatever.
I
I thought I said Santana. My mistake. The referee counts 1, 2, 3, and we're like, oh, okay, that was weird. And then while Morocco is celebrating, Santana runs up behind him, rolls him up, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. And then the bell rings, and the referee raises Santana's hand. The explanation that they gave is that Santana got his foot on the ropes, so that's why the referee was stalling, but I still pretty clearly heard him count 3. And I'm pretty sure Morocco also heard him count 3, which is why he stood up to celebrate. And then the referee, without trying to explain to Morocco that the match is not over, just counts the 3 on this roll-up and gives the victory to Tito Santana. I don't know.
I believe they also rang the bell, too, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like they also did ring the bell, so it was just a really confusing situation. Wrestling really did also seem just a lot more unorganized back then. Like, you know, like not starting matches until people leave the ring. Or, something else that we're going to get to further in the show. I think you might know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that one I believe I know.
We'll get there shortly. Cowboy Bob Orton versus Paul Orndorff.
This was a thing.
One at a time, everybody. Say again?
This was a thing. This certainly happened.
I'm kind of sad that you feel that way, because I felt like they actually had a surprisingly technical and clean-looking match. Orton showed that he is actually a perfectly competent wrestler, but knows how to, like, to be a heel by just keeping the match slow. Fucking just, put in headlocks, do boring things to make the crowd hate you. But when he needed to, he really did also show that, like, yo, I could fucking go too when you need me to. Speaking of disappointing sons, I mean, shit. Orton is, Orton is fucking Randy Orton is an apple that fell way far from the tree. Because I feel like Bob Orton, as much as I hated on him for all those years because of the whole Undertaker thing, maybe we could explain that in a little bit if you'd like. I never really tried to watch one of his matches, and now that I sat down and watched one of his matches, I say, wow, that actually wasn't, like, it wasn't even not bad. It was into, like, good territory. No, you don't share the sentiment, I guess?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't really have anything that stood out to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, remember that at times me and you also have different favored styles of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, every once in a while I could dig on, like, an old 80s style match. Not just an 80s match, but an 80s style match. But you'd kind of struggle with it a little bit more. Unless, unless the dudes are excellent. Oh, you're swapping to the wrong team. Yeah, I was on their team for some reason. Orndorff showed, like, really good intensity in, like, everything he did, and it's a shame that his career didn't go any further than it did because, he had really high potential.
Yeah. Like I said, I believe his deal was that he was injured and didn't want to take the time off to properly heal up and everything because, that was just kind of how wrestling was back then. If you were gone, you lost your spot.
Yeah.
And he obviously did not want to lose his spot.
Yeah,
so he ended up doing a great deal of damage to his long-term health, and that was about it.
Yeah. And it's a shame. That's why every once in a while you'll hear for somebody to call for something like a union for wrestlers because, taking time off for an injury, and it's even true now. Someone like Daniel Bryan kind of fucked up the curve for everybody because if you're someone who gets hurt, anything more than, like, somewhat rarely, your spot might be in trouble. Cena is an exception to the rule. Probably someone like Orton will be an exception to the rule because apparently he's coming back. I don't know when this happened. But yeah, for, like, I feel like it would endanger.
I'm sorry.
I feel like at this point it endangers the push of some people if they show proneness to injury. Dolph Ziggler, I think, lost his spot. Partially to being an idiot, partially to being injury prone. Barrett at some points was headed for a big push. But then he kept getting hurt and they backpedaled. They said, whoa, maybe this is not the right thing to do. So, yeah, that's why it's a shame that nothing like a union exists for them to try and prevent that sort of thing from happening. But at the same time, it's also the right
thing about
move.
that is that's always pretty much opposed by the guys on top because they have it good now, so they don't want anything fucking that up for them.
Cena seems like someone that might be opposed to something like that because whenever he gets hurt, he's good. You don't have to worry about it.
I mean, like back in the 80s, like supposedly like Jesse Ventura used to be like a big proponent of trying to unionize, and Hulk Hogan kind of shot it down.
Yeah. Hogan was opposed to the union too, huh?
Yep.
Like you needed to give me any more reason to dislike Hulk Hogan. Let's see. Orndorff won this match by disqualification after I don't know if you remember this. Orton's wearing an arm cast.
Oh, the cast
match. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, that was like his thing.
Yeah, I guess part of it was like a hard cast, and the other part of it was a soft cast to keep it fair for like when he wrestled. So he gets knocked out onto the apron, and he turns the hard part of the cast toward his inner arm, and just fucking clubs Orndorff over the brain with it. Comes in and goes for the pin, and the referee is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he disqualifies him. And Paul Orndorff moves on to the next round. And then we get a little break from the action before round 2 starts. I don't know if you remember that they cut to like a recap with Vince and Lord Alfred Hayes, who still seems to be completely just horrified of the camera at this point.
But at least he gets comfortable when date rape rears its head.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. But that hasn't happened yet. That's another segment. Yeah, the woman wasn't around yet, so he's just staring at the camera like he's a fucking deer stuck in headlights, and he has no idea what to do or say or think, because he, believes that if he thinks too hard, it might show on the camera. So he didn't want to look stupid. Let's just not do anything. Let's freeze up completely, much like Brutus Beefcake in his WrestleMania promo. Unbelievable. This is the thing that happened. So, during the bracket rundown with Vince and Lord Alfred Hayes, Terry Funk bursts onto the scene screaming about what a travesty it was that he was eliminated. And then he proceeds to yell at Lord Alfred Hayes that he's going to slap him because he's a big-eyed jerk. Sure, that seems like something that's necessary.
His eyes were fairly substantial, though.
Yeah, that is true. I think we gotta get into the next match. Do you wanna do that?
Let's see. What was our next match?
Oh, I'll tell you
Dynamite
what
Kid
the
and
next match
Adonis.
is. Dynamite Kid and Adrian Adonis.
I seem to remember there being a lot of arm work that led to nothing.
Yeah. That shit was just... It was not an interesting match. Not in the slightest. Oh boy. That's not what I need to hear. Where are all the bad men? Did you have anything to say about Adrian Adonis and Dynamite Kid? Because I basically only noted the finish.
Like I say, if it's the one I'm thinking of, there was some arm work, and then kind of the manager finish that we got.
Let's see. Yep, that's what I got. Adrian Adonis pulls in Dynamite Kid for a roll-up, but Dynamite Kid... Well, I'm sorry, fucking Jimmy Hart jumped up onto the apron to form a distraction for Adrian Adonis. While Adrian Adonis is yelling at Jimmy Hart... Wait, do I have this backwards?
Yes.
I do, okay. Yep, my mistake. So, so Jimmy Hart jumps up onto the apron to distract Dynamite Kid for Adrian Adonis.
There we go.
While Dynamite Kid is arguing with Jimmy Hart, that's when Adrian Adonis comes up from behind and tries to roll him up. Dynamite Kid pushes out from the roll-up and knocks him into Jimmy Hart, who falls off the apron. And Adrian Adonis also falls down, and Dynamite Kid gets the pin straight off of that. What the fuck is this? Uh-oh. No, fuck! I missed my refs because you're calling in yours now. Ah!
That's okay, there's not much time left anyway, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh no, there is. I thought I heard the countdown thing.
Uh-oh. Holy shit.
I was like, you're in a really bad place. This is the kill floor.
Let's see. Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage, part 1.
Okay, very short, but it to me showed that these guys were basically on a different fucking planet than everyone else on the roster.
Yeah. That's exactly why they eventually were given their own WrestleMania match, were they not?
Yeah. That'll be WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, so. Oh, shit, I almost killed you. Oh,
Yep,
and then you killed me. Damn it, Eric, have some self-control. Did you have anything to say about the match itself?
No, I mean, it was really, you know, once again, like so many other matches, too short to really be anything.
Yeah.
About 4 minutes long, I think. But...
Keep in mind that pay-per-views back then were shorter, about 2.5 hours, sometimes closer to 2 hours. And this is also, you know, of all 2 shows that we've watched, this was the card that had the most matches on it. So,
yeah.
Pretty much everything was bound to be a short match, and that's just the way that is. What the fuck was that guy doing? Yep, the ending to that match was Savage pulls brass knuckles out of his trunks. Steamboat tries to give Savage a backdrop over the ropes to the inside of the ring, and while they're falling, Savage just hits Steamboat, puts the knuckles back in his trunks, I hope, and pins Steamboat.
Yeah, it looked like he was giving himself a...
Yeah, it did not look like he was just putting the brass knuckles back into his trunk. It really looked like he was enjoying himself. But I don't want to talk about that anymore because that's weird. Uh-oh. The dogs collide in the next match, Eric. Moondog Spot versus the Junkyard Dog. Ah, fuck!
This was the match that...
This was the match.
The referee didn't have time to get into the ring.
Yep.
So they start fighting, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then, Junkyard Dog hits Moondog Spot with a headbutt and counts his own goddamn pinfall.
Yeah, this is a thing that Eric is not making up. After a couple of headbutts from the Junkyard Dog, one of the announcers says, "Hey, there's no referee in the ring." And after one of these headbutts, Junkyard Dog looks around the ring and he's like, "There's no referee here." So he just falls down on top of Moondog Spot, counts himself to 3 count, which by the way was a fast count, so I don't really think it should count anyway.
I actually felt it was a pretty fair count.
It wasn't. It was a fast count. And I mean, we see this spot all the time. The referee is knocked out of the ring, and a person's like, "Fuck, come on, I have it. Look, 1, 2, see, look, 3. I did it. I win." But it doesn't matter because there's no referee in there. Not today. Today, the timekeeper rung the bell, and the ring announcer credited Junkyard Dog with the win. So, I guess that's something that you were allowed to do back then.
Junkyard Dog must have had an official's license. That's
I guess. I mean, that really would explain it, though. What the fuck? The guy just shot me and then left. I fucking popped out to see where he was, and he was actually just walking away from me. Wow. Paul Orndorff versus Tito Santana.
Realizing I don't like Tito Santana that much.
Yeah, I'm with you. Tito Santana he was for some reason like crazy popular back then, but not.
He was pretty popular, yeah.
Yeah, not so entertaining to watch though.
Very bland, charisma-wise, and moveset-wise.
Don't shoot me, please! Don't shoot me! Please don't shoot me!
There's a guy over there. No.
Oh! Kill him! Kill his fucking head! Oh hell, not Raps. Please, anything but Raps. Why did it have to be Raps? Oh! Let's see. So basically what I got out of this match, Tito Santana opens the match by putting Orndorff into a headlock, that lasts for about a full minute. Just a reminder that both the men in this match were faces. Then he locks in one of those like leg sleepers that lasts for about a full minute. And it just sort of goes on and on like this. He's just boring the fuck out of us, even though they're both supposed to be heels and trying to give us like an entertaining match.
Faces, right?
Yeah, is that not what I said?
You said heels.
Oh, my mistake. Yeah, they're both faces. They're both supposed to be just putting on a good match for us, but I mean, I don't even want to put Santana to blame. Like, he started it. But Orndorff was kind of in on it too. Maybe, again, it's just a thing of, like, the old style of wrestling. But
yeah.
It was just a slow, boring, non-action oriented match with a ton of submission holds, and it wasn't the most fun match to watch.
Damn it.
After brawling for a little while, the brawl is taken outside, where both men are counted out and eliminated from the tournament.
Yep. So Junkyard Dog gets a bye to the final.
Junkyard Dog does get a bye for the final, which Jesse Ventura complains about at length. But who really cares how Jesse Ventura feels about anything? Anyway.
Back the Hulkster.
Yep. Speaking of the Hulkster, this was the only non-tournament match on the card. Roddy Piper versus Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, this is... I mean, like, you know, from what I can remember, you know, of this time frame, not being like a hardcore wrestling fan or anything, but just being aware of wrestling and watching superstars and stuff, this would probably be the biggest match I could imagine. And
yeah.
I still will never understand why it wasn't the main event of the first WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
But
they were...
as time goes
like
on...
No one really showed up...
Go on.
I was say no one really showed up with their working boots on for this one, I'll say that much.
Yeah. It's just, I mean... You know, I mean, you see things in a different light because you, sort of, like, glanced at wrestling during this time when it was, when these guys were a little popular, or not when they were a little popular, when they were basically in the prime of their popularity.
Yeah.
I was a sperm during this time, and I also did not get into wrestling, in like the same sense until about 1998-9. So when I was about 12, 13 years old, somewhere around there. So me looking back on this match, I see their popularity, and that's one thing, but I just was not entertained by anything that they did ring-wise. And I think it's easy to see why, because if you just try watching any of their matches, they're just not, they're not exciting things to watch. Did you have anything to say about the match itself?
No, not in this one.
Yeah, that's, it's the hard truth. Let's see. I'm just getting myself set up with another class because I'm tired of my shotgun class. I'm not getting anything with it. Gonna really mess with people this time. We'll get back to this in a minute. I'm just focusing on my class a little bit. That way we could fully get back into wrestling. Okay. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so, yeah, you said you didn't really have anything to say about the match itself?
Not really, no.
Alright. So, the finish of this one is, referee is knocked down, and Piper leaves the ring to get a chair. And he definitely did wrap Hogan a couple of times with it, but somehow Hogan gains control of the chair mid-assault. And then he starts beating down Piper with the chair for a little bit. And just as the referee begins to get up, Hogan ditches the chair. Very, very face thing to do. Then Bob Orton runs into the ring. When the referee starts to become fully aware, attacks Hogan right in front of the referee's face and causes him to win the match by disqualification.
Yep.
What?
Like I say, the referee must have been saying, like, look, can you at least have the decency to not do that when I'm looking at you?
Yeah.
Like, try to sneak it in, man. Come on.
Although at the same time, the referee must have looked up and said, oh, thank God, and calls for the bell. Shit. Oh, God, I got a lot of people. Whoop, a lot of people. Man down. Whoa! Holy shit. I got quick sniped.
That's a kill.
Yeah, me too.
The next match was an awesome thing. Dynamite Kid versus Randy Savage.
Yep. Another one that would have been good if it had some time.
Yeah, but you know, for all these good matches, we would have liked to see them get more time. But time was something that was in high demand on this show. So, not really anybody was given a lot of time for their matches. Some of the terrible matches could have been cut down to give matches like these a little bit more time. But
Did they already do the Rolls Royce giveaway?
no, believe me, we're getting to that. I am not going to skip over that thing because that was something. Dynamite Kid versus Randy Savage was everything that anybody could ever hope it would be. It was a fast-paced, really technically sound match. Just had a disappointing ending where, do you remember the ending? I'll let you get this one if you do.
No.
Okay. Dynamite Kid gives Macho Man a superplex. And as soon as they hit the mat, Macho Man just reaches back and grabs Dynamite Kid's legs and gains the pin that way. I don't know, maybe Dynamite Kid hurt his back while he was giving the suplex. I mean, it is falling off the top rope, but I don't really know how they logic that one. But logic also was something that was that was kind of a hot commodity back in the 80s. Things just sort of happened in those matches, and there wasn't really a reason for it. Please don't take my shit. Please don't take my shit. Oh, he was trying. The Rolls Royce giveaway. Did you hear the female co-host reaction to Vince saying that the Silver Cloud Rolls Royce is a nice looking car?
Yeah, she forgot where the hell she was for a minute there.
I have it written down. Her exact words were, "It is? Oh, yeah, it is. I wish I could be in it right now." Is that a thing you say about a car? Oh man, I wish I could be in that car right now. You're talking about someone's vagina. So after a really long, unnecessary, drawn out, like ceremony type like announcement, like this announcement probably got more time than any match on the show.
Not about any match, but definitely more than some of them that could have used a few
Yeah.
extra minutes.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. What I said was an exaggeration. What you said is definitely not. They gave this bit too much time. Lord Alfred Hayes announces the winner and then calls for the Chicago crowd to give a cheer to the winner of the Silver Cloud Rolls Royce. And the winner, Michael Hamley, is subsequently booed out of the building. And I actually did some research, Eric. According to Wikipedia, Michael Hamley pawned that vehicle later that night for drug money and died 3 weeks later of priapism from overuse of Viagra. Also, his wife was cheating on him the whole time. I'm not making this up, but don't try to go online to verify that. Just trust me.
You know, the sad part is, as you were like typing all that out the other day, I was like, I actually did Google it. I was like, what the fuck, really?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding about all that. Michael Hamley was not at that show because he killed himself. Anyway, the main event of that show was Randy Savage and Junkyard Dog. Yep, that's what it came down to. They could have arranged
all
the
the talent in
brackets.
this match.
They could have arranged the brackets in any way to get the result that they wanted, but they wanted the showcase, the main event of this show, to be Junkyard Dog versus Randy Savage.
I mean, the one thing I will say to their credit is that, you know, Junkyard Dog had come out of Bill Watts Mid-South. You know, so he was wrestling like Louisiana, which is, you know, known for its racial tolerance.
Yeah.
And he was the biggest fucking babyface there.
Yeah.
So they just assume that on a national platform, this dude was just a fucking money printing machine, and it, for whatever reason, it didn't quite work out that way.
You know, I mean, he was
Maybe it was.
He was liked,
Yeah.
but he was never at that level. Like, we need to be putting titles on this dude. It was never like that. You know, he was at the same, like...
I feel like it was either that he was working with guys that knew how to protect his weaknesses better. Like, I think that would be the most likely explanation for what happened. Because, I mean, I know even at the time, no one considered Junkyard Dog to be, like, a good wrestler in the ring. It was just the charisma. And it didn't get him as far as they probably would have hoped.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, still, you know, he had a solid career, nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not like they ever marooned him or anything like that, like the way they did Ziggler for whatever reason. But, he definitely did not reach the heights that they were hoping for him. Did you have anything to say about the match itself?
Not really. It was just, you know, Savage controlled most of it, and then we had the finish, which was insane for this fucking tournament.
Yep. So basically, yeah, it's pretty much the way I was feeling about it. I mean, well, no, maybe you felt a little different, but it was just like, it was a long match. It wasn't incredibly interesting. It was a little drawn out. I think they probably gave Junkyard Dog a little bit more time than he was probably comfortable with.
Yeah,
and
it's quite probable.
You know, the only reason that I could defend the setup of the brackets is them saying to themselves, if Junkyard Dog is going to win this tournament, which for some reason they wanted to do, I guess this was how they wanted to start his push, was up by having him win the Wrestling Classic, which would turn out to be meaningless anyway. If they were going to have Junkyard Dog win this thing, the best person to put him over would be this young, versatile wrestler named Macho Man Randy Savage. I could see it. If anybody could get a good match out of Junkyard Dog, because I think they probably realized that he wasn't the most solid wrestler in the world.
Yeah, again, I feel like they probably knew that before they even brought him in, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, then again, neither was Hogan. You've shown me that Hogan can be passable. But never that he was a fucking genius or anything like that in the ring. By the way, get inside, you're gonna die. And then you die.
I already did.
So yeah, that's my only logic for why we got that match in particular as the final match, as the main event, because
See,
what's that?
I don't so much object to that, but I can't believe that after that whole tournament, they decided the best way to solidify Junkyard Dog as somebody was a count out.
Yeah. Yep, that's a word that we have not said yet, but yes, Junkyard Dog won this tournament by count out, and probably killed the definition of the Wrestling Classic for the rest of the history of the company. And what else can you really say about that? Was there ever another Wrestling Classic?
No, it's very slowly evolved into the Cruiserweight Classic.
I don't think that's the direction that they were going, Eric. I know that they held something like a King of the Ring earlier in 1985, sometime after WrestleMania. I think they might have even called it a King of the Ring, but it was not
King of the Ring.
Or,
King of the Ring, the first few were not televised, but it was a little later. Maybe I want to say about 88 or 89.
I could be wrong.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I think, won one. Harley Race won. Can't quite remember who else. But there were a couple of untelevised King of the Rings.
Yeah. So I think that's what they were. Not the Cruiserweight Classic, Eric. I don't think
it's a classic,
they were like,
wrestling.
Man, in 31 years, this is really going to be something.
Yeah, you know, they've just been working out the bugs. So who knows, Zack Sabre, bless his soul, may eventually join the ranks of Junkyard Dog as a classic winner.
Yeah. I really don't want that to happen. Well,
done a lot of conversations that you could put them together in.
Yeah. And not a lot of conversations that you should put them together in. Try and stay away from that. So, man, Eric, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, how's your kill streak doing?
I'm not sure at the moment. Ah, damn it! You jumped in front of me. I don't want to hear it.
I guess I kind of did.
Rolling thunder inbound.
Damn it! Okay, that time you just startled me.
What the hell is your problem? You're the worst person.
Makes you feeling better. Makes you feeling better that Rolling Thunder killed me too.
I know.
Friendly lightning strike.
Ah, you dick. We are going to be wrapping this up in a minute. You're a fucking jerk.
Damn it! I have to put a fucking bell on you or something.
They're just using pistols. This is kind of fun.
Okay, none of those guys were Tim. Alright.
Oh, man. God. Oh, God. Must outrun the Rolling Thunder.
Well, that didn't kill you, so that's good.
That's because I got shot on the way away from it. Damn it. Oh, God. Oh God.
So hey, that Cruiserweight Classic, huh? That should be something.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, we will speak about it in a minute.
I thought we were wrapping up.
We are,
wrapping
but
up. Check that shit out.
You fucking dick. I know, the game ends in 5 seconds. We might as well just ride out the rest of this game. Damn it. I was trying to kill you again. Yeah, so,
I wouldn't have blamed you.
for about the last minute and a half, all those times that you killed me and all those times that I was killed in Rolling Thunder was me trying to hunt you down before we ended this, this PlagueCast here. And, failing over and over and over again. Sometimes by, well, always by accident, but still frustrating every time. Alright, let me just see one thing. There actually was a King of the Ring in 1985. In July, in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Don Morocco won over the Iron Sheik by pin in 10 minutes. Yeah, oh, look at that. The Brooklyn Brawler was in there. Oh, Brooklyn Brawler didn't make it, didn't make it past the first round. Paul Orndorff and Bob Orton fought to a double disqualification. Wait a minute. Is that what happened in the fucking, in the one in November, too?
What?
Oh, no, Paul Orndorff won, in the first round because of disqualification for Bob Orton. Man, Bob Orton liked getting disqualified. Greg Valentine was in this one too, though, but he got eliminated in the first round. But I wonder why he wasn't in the Wrestling Classic then. Anyway. Yeah, so there you have it. The Wrestling Classic 1985. Anything else to say about the show as a whole?
No, just, the shows are getting a little better, but
yeah, we're
like
seeing a very, very slow increase in quality, but we are seeing an increase in quality. The shows are getting better, slowly better. So yeah, so I guess that'll do it. This was Black Ops, obviously, against Retardobots, while speaking about the Wrestling Classic. And Eric, this one's going to be a surprise to you, but to wrap this up, please do join us again next week, where we will be talking about the Wrestling Classic, which can be seen on the WWE Network next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Thank you, Eric, for joining us for the Wrestling Classic. Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about the Cruiserweight Classic, son.
Oh, okay.
Joining us for
So the Wrestling Classic, you scared me.
The Wrestling Classic? Did
It
I?
was Groundhog. Yeah.
Fuck! Well, then I ruined my big reveal. No, please do join us next week, where we will be talking about the Cruiserweight Classic, the one that you can find on the WWE Network next Wednesday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Not in the morning. Do not watch the WWE Network at 9 o'clock in the morning. It will probably just be Total Divas.
Backlash 2008 or some shit.
Backlash 2000. Did they even have a Backlash 2008?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, look. This kid joined in just in time for us to say bye. So, Eric, again, thank you very much for joining us for this PlagueCast. And to all one person watching, hello, Joe. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next Thursday evening. Take care, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you again, Eric. Good night, guys.